Hello everyone, welcome to Line Guru channel. We will learn about Docker architecture. So let's get started. So let me write down the concept name. What we are going to learn here is Docker architecture. And we will also learn how Docker works internally. So you will get to know about some of the internal components of Docker. So at a high level, Docker has primarily two things. One is the Docker client, and the other one is the Docker engine, and we will talk about both in detail, like what does it contains internally. Docker client and Docker engine. So you have Docker client here and you have Docker engine here. And Docker engine is the main backend engine of Docker, which does all of the things, right? And Docker client, as the name suggests, it's the client only which takes the instructions from you and it passes the instructions back to the Docker engine, and the core part is being done by Docker engine in the background. So if I say what is Docker client, it's just a client. So whenever you submit any command through CLI, let's say Docker build, Docker run, Docker pull, Docker push, so this client takes those instructions from you through command line interface and it passes those instructions to the Docker engine in the background. So you can think it of, it's a Docker client, it's kind of a user interface or a command line interface or a CLI interface which exposes different commands for the users to communicate with the core backend engine, right? Now, if I talk about Docker engine, now Docker engine is the main backend component of Docker which does all of the things related to Docker. Now, it internally consists of multiple things, and the first thing is it contains daemon, and we will talk what each of these processes are. It contains daemon, it contains containerd, and it contains runc. So these are the three primary components of Docker engine, and what are the responsibilities of each of components? So let's talk about that now. So as I said, that this Docker client, whenever you submit any instructions or a CLI command of Docker, it goes to Docker engine, and daemon process is the actual daemon process which exposes your APIs. It has the API implementation of all those commands, which takes care of understanding your instructions, like what you want to do. So it's exposed as an HTTP API or a REST API. The core functionality of Docker is exposed as a REST API through HTTP interface through this daemon process, and the Docker client directly talks to this daemon process only. So this Docker engine is modularized in a way that that the daemon process only takes care of the responsibility of talking to Docker client. Every client to server communication happens in between Docker client and the daemon process. So just to repeat, so it is an API implementation of each of the Docker command which are exposed through Docker client. So this has the main it takes care of exposing an API interface so that the backend understand what the client is sending, right? Now, corresponding to API instructions, whatever is it receives in a daemon process, it talks to different processes based on what instruction has been passed from the Docker client, right? I hope this daemon process is clear to you now. Now, what is containerd? Now, containerd is something which manages the life cycle of the containers. It manages containers life cycle. And what I mean by life cycle of the container, so let's say you have submitted a command to create a container, you submit a command to stop a container, you submit a command to remove the container. So containerd manages each phase of that container. Let's say starting of the container, removing of the container, stopping the container, pausing the container. So all of these functions or the life cycle of the container is managed through containerd. So it's basically, you can think it of, it's kind of a orchestration engine which manages the containers, whatever you are creating You're giving the instructions to create through Docker client, right? And the last part, which is the run C. Now, this is the core engine which actually runs your container. It actually runs or executes your container, and this is the main engine which talks to your underlying operating system kernel. So runc is the main component which talks to your underlying host operating system kernel to execute or run your image, whatever the image you want to create, you want to use to create a container. So whatever instructions have been written in that image, so runc is the main component which runs and executes your instructions inside the container by creating a container. So runc is the main component which actually creates your container. It actually takes those instructions from the image file, and then it, using those instructions, it talks to your operating system kernel and does whatever operation you want to do in the container as written in the image, right? So as I said, that runc creates the actual image or the actual container, whereas containerd just manages the life cycle of the container. It does not creates the container, but it gives an instruction to start the container if I talk about managing the life cycle. So there is a just to avoid the confusion between containerd and runc. So containerd just manages the life cycle. It does not actually executes the instructions inside the container. It helps you to create the container, pause the container, stop the container, remove the container, managing all of the life cycle of the container. But the actual engine, the actual component which executes the image instructions is this runc component. I hope this is also clear, right? Now let's take an example that how these things work in a real practical example, right? So let's say whenever you have to run any container, so what command you will pass is, you will pass docker run container, and then you will specify some image based on which image you want to run your container. So this is a kind of a docker command that you will run, right? Now what happens in the background in this architecture is, so this is my command which you will submit to Docker client, right? You will submit this command to Docker client. Docker client will communicate with the daemon process, because daemon process exposes the API implementation of each command. So it will take, the daemon process will take the instructions through the API interface, whatever command you have mentioned. Once the daemon process receives the instructions, it understands what it needs to do. It understands that you have passed the command to run a container, so it will invoke containerd, that I need to create a container. So containerd will create the, it will just initiate the instruction of creating the container, and then from there onwards it will manage the life cycle of that container. So containerd will receive an instruction that container create command has been received. So once it knows, containerd knows that I have to create a new container, then it converts the image, whatever you have passed. So it converts the image into a compliant format. So there is a OCI, Open Container Initiative, which is a standard format which Docker internally uses to convert this image into OCI format, and then it pass on that OCI format compliant image to runc, right? So it receives the instruction to create the container. It kind of converts your image into compatible format, and then it pass on everything to runc, which runc requires. So now runc has a compatible image, and it gets the instruction from containerd that I need to create a container. Now runc actually creates the container and it executes all of those instructions which are mentioned in the image which containerd has provided to runc. Now using those instructions, it spins off the container, it executes those instructions, and your container is up and running. And after that, runc process terminates. Now once that runc process terminates, thereafter container D takes back the responsibility of managing that container which has been created by runc. So this is how it works. Runc job is just to create the container, execute the instructions. Once the container is started, then the control goes back to container D, and after that, container D manages the whole life cycle of that container to make sure that it is up and running. Or whenever a command is received to stop that container, it manages to stop that container also. So thereafter, container D has all of the responsibility to manage that container. So this is how each of the component works internally in the Docker, and this is kind of the core concept that you should know, that how Docker works internally. So whenever you are submitting any command, what happens in the background, so you should know these concepts theoretically, so that you can better relate at what's happening in the background when you run any kind of container. So that was all about the Docker architecture at a high level overview. I hope you get the basic concepts, that how it works internally. If you like this video, do like it, do share it with others, and do subscribe LimeGuru channel for more videos. Thank you.